Hey everybody, hello. If you're new here, welcome to the channel, and if you're old, welcome back. We have another one of these type of videos where I'm discussing and trying to figure out if I enjoy something or not, just so y'all can hear, my argument towards the show, whether y'all agree with it or not. And here we are. If you read the title, yes, I'm trying to decide if I really enjoy Squid Game or if I did not enjoy Squid Game at all. It is a show, Netflix series, obviously, for those who don't know, but it's been so popular by now. I think everybody knows where it's platformed at. It has debuted and platformed on Netflix. It's been on there for a while now. Very popular show. It blew up successfully, man, overnight. It was an overnight sensation. It's a Korean series. Korea, they got some really good shows. So, it was definitely going to be a hit. I'm not saying all the shows are a hit, but most of the shows are. And this was definitely a hit. It took the world by storm when it first dropped. And it was really good, I would say, the concept-wise. Because me now, going in trying to decide if I like it or not, I don't know if it is a good show or not. That's what I'm going to debate by the end of this video. But the concept was really great. It has 3 seasons if you haven't seen it. So I would recommend you to go watch it, especially, and get your own opinion about the show. Not just go based on what I'm saying, for those who haven't seen it, and even those who have and you still you don't know if you like the show or not. Don't go based off my opinion. Go based off yours. So go watch all 3 seasons yourself. You can definitely binge maybe 1 season in a day, but you definitely cannot binge all 3 seasons. But I'll say you definitely can binge the 3rd season in a day. It has the shortest episodes, so yes, definitely. But yeah, so this is a game show, might as well say, that is based around death and murder, money and greed. It is about people who are in need of money. I mean, desperate need of money. Some people are homeless. Some people are in crazy amounts of debt. Some people owe people money, all types of things. Some people are just really, really, really poor, and they're just hoping to get in a better position where they can support themselves and maybe family members, whatever. So it's a game show based around death, meaning that in order to play, once you're accepted in, and it is by choice if you want to be accepted in the game or not, and I'll explain that right after this, you have to kill people. Or, in a sense, you might gotta take your own life because of you not being able to pass to the next level of the game. And you also get killed yourself by the guards that are there watching to make sure that people pass. This happens throughout the show, in every season. People play, people die, they get killed, some people take their lives, a never-ending cycle of that. It's a show about greed because it shows you the lengths that people will go to just to win some money. And to clarify, they are winning 456 billion won, which in America, and I'm only stating money for America because most of my viewers and I myself are from America. So in America, that equals to about $328,485,482.40.
Damn.
So yes, that is not a billion over here, but it is over 1 million. It is even over 100 million. So it's still a lot of money regardless. So yes, that's what you win. It's a lot of money over there. It's even a lot of money over here. So you can imagine the lengths that people go to in order to do whatever they have to do to win this money. There can only be one winner. I know this looks like 2, but I'm saying 1, 1 per hand. There can only be 1 winner. That's it. Everybody else has to die. That's the rules. You cannot forfeit if you want to win the money. The only way you can win the money is for everyone to die but the last person standing, who wins the 456 billion won. So there is only one loophole to this, and the only loophole is that if everyone votes to leave, then games are over, you can leave. However, nobody wins any money. You don't get no participation reward or certificate or ribbon. That's it. You go back to your regular life where you owe people money, where you're poor and you need money, where you are in crazy amounts of debt. All that. You go back to that life. We don't even give you anything just for your time being here. Nothing. That's it. But obviously, we need a show, so that reality will happen. Though they have a maximum amount of times of voting to see if you want to stay or go. But lots of people obviously want to stay because they really need the money, and that goes hand in hand with the greed. They are afraid to die, and some people are even afraid to kill people, but they really need the money. So it's like, well, I'm going to continue to play and kill whoever I need to kill, step on whoever I need to step on, jump on whoever I need to jump on, do whatever I need to do, because I really need that money. I really want that money. So, yeah. So, starting out, to get recruited into Squid Game, for one, you have to once play a game called Dakchi. It is a traditional Korean game that they play over there. I'm sure everyone's seen it on TikTok by now. I'll put a clip up. This is what Dakchi looks like. This is the game that they played. And every single time they played, they pretty much was just throwing themselves in deeper debt than they were. They're being secretly recorded, unbeknownst to them, obviously, because it wouldn't be a secret if they knew. And this is kind of the start of their profile for if they want to be in the game. You get a card once you're done with, like, you know, the PlayStation symbols on there, and that's your invite there. You get to go to like a little dinner or whatever before you start, and after that, they come pick you up. You don't know where you're going, but you wake up and you're there. And that is the start of Squid Game from there. Once you get up, you're pretty much thrown into the game. You don't really have time to introduce yourself to people. It's just there. Squid Game consists of usually 5 different games, but it depends based on the season that you're watching. But I would say yes, it's usually consists of 5 games, the 5th game being Squid Game itself. And it is overlooked by a front man who is the overseer. He's not the one who created the games, but he's the overseer to make sure that everything is going the way it's supposed to go, that people are dying the way they're supposed to die, that the guards are following the rules, and everything else. Because guards, they tend to have their own little things going on outside of this job. So he's the overseer to make sure that everything is flowing the way it's supposed to, and also entertaining the higher-ups, which are known as the VIPs, mainly white people, British white people, all types of different kinds of white people. There are a few outstanding non-white people there, but for the most part, they're just rich white people. But then you have the guards who are overseeing the games, who are under the front man, who is making sure that all the players are doing what they have to do and make sure that they have to kill whoever they have to kill by the time the time runs out. So you play your games within the time that they give you. The time varies, it depends on the game. You have to make sure that you beat the game by that time. If you don't, by the time is over, then you die. However, there are games where you play and time could be going, and depending on what the game is, you can die way before then, because the game is set to kill you anyway before that time is up. But if you don't get killed by that game that's managed to kill you, but you don't win by the time is up, you still die anyway. Those who make it across proceed to the next game, and it continues to go on and on and on until there's 2 people left, and then the final 2 people, they play Squid Game. You continue to go on and on and on and on until one person dies and the last person standing is the winner. So, yes, they get to take the money home. That's it. They got a bunch of trauma now, guilt for being the only survivor, all types of things going on, hatred, sadness. It's just a lot going on with that person. They don't care. They hand them the money. That's it. It's over with. You don't know where we are because we never showed you. On the way here, you don't know who we are because we cover our faces. We all have the same voices. We got voice machines to disguise our voices so you don't know what we sound like. You don't know anything about us. So if you want a revenge, there's just no way that you can have it. So, yes, without further ado, now let's get into the actual show and talk about the characters and the games and all of that, which is going to help me determine whether I actually do enjoy this show or not. So, the show starts out with Song Gi-yoon, which is our star. He is probably more popularly known as Player 456. He is a poor man. He owes people money. He's in debt, but he's also a father and a son. His mother's sick. His daughter isn't sick, but he's not that great of a father. They have a weird relationship with each other. And he's trying his best to fix things, work things out with her. But in order to do a lot of things with his daughter, he needs money, which he doesn't have. So, fast forwarding through all the life things that he's going through right now, he plays Chi with the recruiter who people love. He is known in Korea and even over here for certain things. A lot of y'all who don't watch K-dramas might only know him from Training Busan. And if you don't know this man at all, then okay, that's fine. But most of us Americans probably know him from being the dad on Training Busan. And those who watch K-dramas, y'all probably know him from the K-drama shows that he's on. So, to play Chi with the recruiter, like I said earlier, you get recruited, you join. He joins Squid Game along with other stars such as Shabria, who everyone loves. Me, I didn't see the appeal. She is a pretty girl, but I just didn't see the appeal. I mean, first season came out and people just adored her. They fantasized about her. I mean, it was just videos about her everywhere. Like I said. Not me though. But yes, Shabria is a character who's also one of the stars on the first season, who is also now a player in Squid Game due to the fact that she is raising her little brother on her own. She needs lots of money to support him, or he'll be in the foster care system like in most situations. But we also have other characters not as important, but some such as Ali Abdul, who is the only Indian player that's here. He was a fan favorite by a lot of people. He was a very sweet, smart character who also, in fact, saves Gi-yoon's life at some point in time, actually in the first game. Then we have Il-nam, who is the oldest player here. He enjoys games. Most of these games he's played as a child, so he does have a bit of happiness towards these games, despite lots of people being murdered. But yes, spoilers for him later, but in due time. I mean, I'm sure everyone's seen this show by now, so they already know, but in due time we'll get there. And then we have Sung-woo, who is an old-time best friend of Gi-yoon. Yes, they know each other, and that can happen. It is pretty common in Squid Game for people to know each other in the game, so that kind of help a little bit. You might could look at it as like an ally, but at the end of the day, you still have to come out as one winner. So you can look at it how you want to look at it. It's either good or bad. Then we have side characters such as Min Yao, who is what I just call the cigarette lady. She smokes a lot of cigarettes in this game. She's not as important in the show, but they give her lines, lots of storylines, even including a very unwanting, disgusting sex scene with another side character named Duk-soo, who looks like he's like in a gang, a mafia, anything like that. They are temporary love interest who is definitely a threat to whoever you're voting for in the show. Unless you're a fan of Baksu, then go ahead. Me, I was not. So, yeah. And then we have characters such as Junho, who's a police officer who is looking for his missing brother, last seen somewhere in some type of Squid Game. Doesn't really know, but he finds his way to the island where Squid Game is, and he's able to capture a guard and take their clothing, get there to the island and infiltrate as the guard. He is infiltrating as guard number 29. And yeah, he's doing what he has to do, working his way, pretty much doing what the police isn't going to do. He has to, do it himself. And yeah, that's a pretty big storyline in the show. So yeah. So now let's get to the games. Starting with the first game and probably the most popular game of all. I mean, even people who haven't even seen Squid Game even knows about this. And you definitely know about this sound right here. First game is red light, green light. This game is where you have to basically start and stop as if you're playing in traffic as one of the cars or as a walker. Doesn't matter. When somebody yells green light, you go. When somebody yells red light, you stop. So this is what happens, except for if you move during the time the doll says red light, you will be shot by a guard. This tends to happen twice throughout the show. It is very popular, and it has spun off into games where you get to play red light, green light on many different gaming platforms. So yeah, you can imagine the influence that it had on society when this came out. And so starting with this game, this is the first game and all the players there. There are 456 players, all numbered from the number 0, 0, 1 to 456. So they all play. First person dies. Some people don't take it serious at first. Another person gets shot and they realize this is serious. So now there's a timer. You have to get to the doll on the other side of the doll within a certain time, or you will be shot and killed, even if you never got caught by the doll. This happens. None of the stars died on this first game. There are just other people that they just needed, to kill off to let people know that this is serious and what type of show we're going to be watching. So boom, all of the stars, even side characters, make it across. That's it. The second game is Sugar Honeycombs. This game was also very popular during its time, and lots of people tried it. You can also play this as well on many platforms. In most cases, you can play the whole Squid Game first season by itself in many platforms all across everywhere. I'm talking Roblox, YA, anything else you can download it, Crab Game, lots of games you could play. But some of it is separately, and they only let you play the separate games that they have on the show without the other games. This game is where you have a certain amount of time to carve out whatever shape is given to you on the honeycomb without breaking it. Lots of people who do it, they pass. Lots of people don't. They break it. People die. All of the stars in the show, they pass. Some with flying colors, some cheat a little, some pass within the very, very, very last seconds, last minutes, but they all pass. So boom, we have nothing to worry about there. It's just the non-importance that get killed during this time. The third game we have is Tug of War. This is also a popular game over here as well. This one wasn't as popular when it dropped on Squid Game, but like I said, this is a popular game over here. I even played Tug of War plenty of times as a child growing up. So yes, this game is where you have also a certain amount of time. Every game is timed, so you have a certain amount of time that you have to pull the other team across as they're trying to pull you across on a rope. Except for there's a twist. See, when we played, there was no bridge with the opening to it that will have you fall to your death. You just fall on the floor. This one, if you bring them forward, well, you fall to your death because you're on a very high platform. So yeah, if your team isn't able to fulfill the needs that you need to to play and finish this game and win, then you fall to your death. The team with the stars are split into two different teams. There are different characters on different teams, so not everyone who gets camera time is all on the same team, because everybody who gets camera time doesn't even like each other. So all of the stars, once again, they all pass. There's nobody that you would care about as a character that's been building up on this show for you to care about dies in this game. They are successful. Like I said, some even with flying colors, some just within minutes, but everyone passes. The fourth game is marbles, and this is where it gets a little crazy, because now our cast members are starting to die. Lots of them. People are dropping like flies, and it's getting pretty wild. You know, it's a lot going on. This is now where we see some of the cast members, whether they're supporting cast or main cast, die this time around. So now you know that this is serious and that some of the people that you care for are going to go. The object of this game is to play a game of their choice with a partner and try to take all of their partners' marbles within a certain time. And the player who manages to take all their partners' marbles within that set time wins. And the one who doesn't dies. So this is where we start to lose some of our cast members. This is where Ali, he gets killed because he loses. This is where we see Ilnam disappears, I would say, because he loses. And this is where we see Ji Young, who is a friend to Sabyok, dies as well. Which is a very sad and heartfelt moment because he was a likable character. I didn't mention her earlier because she does only get a limited amount of screen time, despite her being good friends with Sabyok in the show. They only met in Squid Game. It's not like they knew each other before. But I would say for some people, her death did impact a lot of people. I've seen a lot of posts about people being very sad and upset about her dying. But she plays Sabyok and Sabyok wins, and she dies. So now that they're gone, we move on to the next game, which is Glass Stepping Stone. And this is where some of our cast members also die as well. Some of your faves, to be exact, which were probably Doksu and Minyo. The object of this game is to cross glass on a bridge, pair side by side. But the catch is you don't know what glass is weak and which glass is strong. So you have to make it over there and jump within the set time frame. If you don't get across by the time it's up, well, then you get killed. So you have no choice but to jump no matter whether you know or not. This game, they play, they jump. Lots of people die and fall to their death because you can't tell which one. Some people figure out a solution to figure out which glass is strong and which glass is not. And in this time while playing, Minyo dies by sacrificing herself and also taking Doksu with her because he betrays her in the game. So yes, all of our other stars make it across successfully, and we are now in the final game, which is Squid Game. But before we play, we now have 3 players left, and we are now allowed to have a nice little dinner, kind of clean up, wear a nice little suit, you know. But however, Sabyok is hurt from the previous game that she just played. She gets cut on a shard of glass, and she's now in lots of pain. She can't really manage. So yes, unfortunately, she does start to bleed out a little, and she's killed by Song-woo, which really ticks off Guillaume, because he really liked her as a character, not in that way like he wanted to get with her, but he seen potential in her winning. I guess a lot of people seen potential in her winning. She was a good player, and obviously he doesn't want to have to put himself between him and Song-woo, but it is something that does happen because it can only be one winner. So now that there's 2 players left, Song-woo and Guillaume are the only 2 that play Squid Game. And Guillaume has a perfect plan to kind of manipulate Song-woo's mind by making him admit what he did to Sabyok. and he feels really bad about it. They play the game, but towards the end, Sungwoo deletes himself, and boom, Hyun is the winner of Squid Game. He wins the 456 billion won successfully, but he doesn't enjoy it because lots of people died, so he has guilt, trauma, all types of things. So he goes back home in his regular life, and he now plans on getting revenge towards everyone. During this time of Squid Game, also Jun-ho is, like I said, infiltrating as a guard number 29 to try to figure out what's going on and where his brother is. He makes it through with some suspicion from other people, but he makes it through. And he finds his brother. His brother turns out to be the front man. Wow. Crazy, right? So, yes, he gets shot. He falls off the cliff, and that is the end of him until next season. Now I'm back to Guillaume. Like I said, he wins, and he plans on getting revenge. And, yeah, he pretty much tries to. But before he starts, he goes and visits an old friend who he did not realize who he was until he visits him. And it is no other than Il-nam himself. He's laying on his deathbed, and Il-nam admits to him that he is the creator of the games. He's the one who started all this, all because he was about to die and he just missed playing his games. Yes, there's a twist to it. People died, but like...
It's terrible, but like... inevitable?
And Guillaume is not having none of this at all. He is not. And so he leaves, and Il-nam dies, and that is the last that we see of him. Good riddance. Goodbye. I mean, the twist for this season was pretty crazy. I would say that I do thoroughly enjoy season 1. It was definitely something different that we had never seen before. So yes, I would rate this season probably 7 out of 10. It wasn't the best season in my opinion, but I would give it a 7 out of 10. Now moving on to season 2. Now we are back with our winner, player 456, also known as Guillaume. He is rich, he has his money, but he don't want to use it because this is blood money, and honey, I understand. So here he is working on his revenge scheme, doing whatever he has to do to get in the games, finding whoever he needs to get in the games, and he does this by informing Jun-ho, who he is now working with, after they have a little scuffle. This happens after they find the recruiter who he uses Mr. Kim, who is a loan shark that Ji-yoon owed money to, which I'm assuming he paid off because he's now in his good graces. He uses him and his right-hand man, Mr. Choi, who doesn't somehow know Guillaume before their interaction, but they do. They find the recruiter, or I would say the recruiter finds him, which I don't believe that we got to know what the recruiter's name was in the first season, but it is revealed to us in the second season that his name is Gong Yu. So yes, he finds them and he kidnaps Mr. Choi and Mr. Kim, and he makes them play the first game we see of the season, called Rock, Paper, Scissors, Finest One, which the object of the game is to play the normal rock, paper, scissors and then take away one finger, and whoever loses will get shot in the Russian roulette kind of way. But it's reverse Russian roulette, which is crazy because there is only one bullet missing and there are 5 bullets in the gun, and that is not how you play Russian roulette, which is why it is reversed. Mr. Kim, he sacrifices himself for Mr. Choi so that he can leave and help Guillaume, so he dies. It is a very, very, very beautiful but terrifying scene. I believe that it is the best scene of season 2, with the music, the insanity of Gong Yu, the frightening and fear of Mr. Kim and Mr. Choi as they are half naked and they're playing for their lives and they're scared and they're afraid. It's just amazing. The directing, everything about it was just amazing. I really enjoyed that scene, and I even had to watch it the second time after watching it the first time because it was a really good scene. So yes, we are now down a star. He was only a star for like the first episode, but he was a lone shark that was in the first season that Gion owed money to, so this was somebody that we've seen before. So this can be seen as a touching scene, not only because of the good acting and the music and everything else along with it, but because he was also someone that we've seen in the previous season that we kind of got to know just a little bit. So now that Mr. Choi is the only survivor, he is found by Gion. He works with him alongside Jung Ho because Jung Ho finds the recruiter in the home of Gion after he stops by and try to kill him once he discovers that Gion is looking for him, and also trying to find a way back into the game so that he can kill everyone involved. Gong Yu isn't having that, so he makes his way to his apartment, and Gion once again, the manipulating king that he is, manipulates his mind and finds a way to get him to admit the terrible things that he's done. Gong Yu thinks that he's about to kill Gion. It's not happening. He shoots himself, and that's the end of him. Jun Ho thinks that Gion is the culprit behind his death, but he tells him everything that he needs to know about the place. And Junho tells him everything as well that he needs to know about the place, except for the fact that the front man is his brother. So they work together to get back in there, and they are successful. They go, they find the spot where they need to go in a club, the little dinner that they're having, and it's the start of the second game. Gion, he found his way back in. So here we go. Once we get in the games, like the first, we get right into it. There is nothing really bricky about it. You don't really have time to really introduce yourself to anyone or anything like that. They kind of throw you in there once again without you knowing where you are. These people have played Dr. Chi once again with the recruiter, so they owe lots of people money, or they're in serious amount of debt, or they're really, really poor, whatever. So we start with the first game, the most famous of all that they brought back in season 2, which is red light, green light. They play, and right off the bat, the very first person to die is Mina, who's a very pretty girl. I thought who was going to last way longer on this show, but she did not. She's the first to go after having a discussion with Thanos, who is one of the important characters of season 2. During this time, we get introduced to the stars of the second season, who are Gion, of course, Mr. Choi, Jun Ho, Dae-ho, who is known as a Marine. More on him and on that Marine life later. Han-ju, who is everyone's favorite. She is a trans character who at first lots of people look at the wrong way because of the fact that she is trans, but this character turns out to be the best character in the whole series. We also get introduced in In-ho, more on that later. Gum-ja, who is like the mother of the game, very good character, I would say. Overall, they did a very good job writing this character, and we're also introduced to a surprise, her son, Young-sik. We also get introduced to Semi, who isn't that important, but in a sense important for certain storylines. Jung-bae, who is a very close friend to Gion, who is now in the games. Mi-young-gi, who we see was playing Dr. Chi with the recruiter at the time that Mr. Choi and Mr. Kim actually spotted the recruiter, which got them the upper hand to follow him before they were kidnapped themselves. Son Yu, who is a fake prophet. She believes that she's going to win because the gods have awarded her and shown her the way to win. We also have Ju, who is a very irritating character who's a friend and lackey to Thanos, who also is a very irritating character. Junhee, who in the first game we discovered is pregnant, and she's very pregnant. That's different. Like, whoa. They really stepped the game up in season 2. That is insane. Min-soo, who once again isn't that important, but at the same time kind of important. He's more of a side character than main character, but they give him a lot of screen time and a lot of storylines. So yes, him, Noye, who, sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong, this was a very, very difficult name for me to pronounce, but who is a father and a worker at an amusement park who has a sick daughter who got in the game because of that. And finally, Jongdae, who is a very, very, very irritating and manipulative, but yeah, only good player of an old man. It's not, he doesn't touch us the way that Ilnam did, pause, but he's a good character nonetheless. I didn't like him, but good player, good character. So after the first game, red light, green light, this is where Guillaume tells everyone,
Played these games before!
it's a meme now, it's very popular, you know. And everyone's like, wow, whoa, it's you, you're the winner, you're the last winner. Oh my goodness. Some people believe him, some people don't. Those that do believe, they see an instant alliance with him. They're like, okay, well, he's gonna help us win, or he's gonna help us survive. We see that as serious. So yeah. This brings on alliances and diversity because there are lots of people who wants to stay in the game and there's lots of people who wants to leave. Lots of people see that Guillaume has survived, but he's the only survivor, and somehow he's back. And they're like, oh my goodness, we don't want to end up like this. We really don't care about the money. We want to go. Guillaume, show us the way. We want to leave. We don't want to be responsible for people dying, and we don't want people to be responsible for us getting killed because they killed us. This is scary. We thought we were just playing games or something that was going to help us, you know, get out of debt, to help us in our poor situation, whatever, and it's not. Others are like, we really don't care, we want this money, we're greedy, and if he's won before, one thing we're going to make sure he does is not win again. We're staying. This diversity comes along also within a series of votes throughout this season, which we see more this season. We didn't see more times in the first season. They only had a small number of votes, if not only one, where you get to vote, like I said earlier, to either stay or leave. And in the first season, the vote to stay was overthrown by the vote to leave, and everyone got to leave. But when they realized they really needed that money, everyone came back, and that was the end of that. This season, they constantly voted after every game. And after the first vote, this is where we are introduced actually into the character himself. Inho, sorry, I pronounced it wrong the first time. Inho, we all know who this man is, but nobody in the games knows who this man is. So it is a secret for now. More on that later. He is the last vote, and he votes for everyone to stay. And the vote to stay is ruled over by the vote to leave. So now, like I said, people are creating alliances throughout this game before the next game. And pretty much everybody has their little groups that they're hanging out with, they're talking to, and all of that. People that they trust, they're giving each other's life stories and all types of stuff, just so that they can have a good alliance and a good way to beat these games. The second game is called Six-Legged Pentathlon. This game consists of 6 mini games that you have to play with a team within a certain time, or else you will die if you do not make it by the end of the time. This game is split up into 2 episodes because it takes that long, because we have way more characters with screen time and storylines than we did with, than the first season. So it is split up into 2 episodes. All of the stars make it. Lots of people die within this game, but all of our stars make it. However, the team that has Inho, Guillaume, Inho, Junbae, and Junhee, they make it by this much because Inho obviously is the front man, and he's doing everything that he can to sabotage their chances of winning. So he takes his time doing this game, but obviously he doesn't want to make it look obvious that he is sabotaging the game, so he does make it after a while, and they win by landslide. Nobody dies here. That's important. And we move on to the next game. By the way, six-legged pentathlon games were consisted of Dachi, which they played to get recruited into Squid Game, Flying Stone, Gongji, which became very, very popular last year after the second season. Lots of people were on TikTok playing it and showing people how to play it. I even tried to play myself, but I could not. Spinning Top and Jeggi. So those are the games. So now we go back, and in the meantime, the show is also showing us Junho, who is now with Sea Captain Cole, Mr. Choi, and some other people that he knows is helping him find the island. They're having a hard time finding it. We found out why soon enough. Pause on that for now. We also get a storyline from a new character who also works with the amusement park worker player 11. Her name is, she is number 11. I got it mixed up. She is guard number 11. She works with the amusement park worker who has a sick daughter, whose name is actually not her name. I got them mixed up. His name is Kong Suk. So her storyline is consistent of her being a guard, but she notices Kong Suk during the first game, and now she's going to do whatever she can to try to get him out of this game alive, while also not following the rules of the other guards, doing what she wants to do, playing how she wants to play. So yes, that's the storyline. She does get attacked by some of the guards because they don't like that she's doing things her way. She gets threatened, all types of things. So yes, that's the storyline that they incorporated this season. Back to the games. Third game is Mingle, which is also very famous this time around during this season, and it has a very, very, very catchy song that goes like, yes, so I sing the song a lot. And like I said, it's very catchy. This is also known as the merry-go-round game, where we start to lose some of the characters in the game, such as Youngmi, who wasn't that important of a character. She was more of a side character, or I say a side to a side character, but she was friends with Hanju, who they had a very good dynamic. It was really nice the way that they wrote it. You could tell she was a really young girl who was really scared. She just wanted to go home, not play these games anymore. And because lots of people voted for them to stay both times after both games, she could not go home. So yes, this is where she gets killed because she gets knocked down by a player within the last 8 seconds, and she does not have time to make it in the doors with the other players, and Myunggi actually takes her spot. And I know lots of people hate Myunggi, but this is the point of the show where Myunggi had a point. He was right, and if they waited for her to get in the doors, they will all be dead, including the baby, which we learn in the show is his baby. So yeah, he's in the games with his girlfriend and his unborn child. Speaking of Myunggi, he gets his first kill soon after this by killing Thanos in a fight, because Thanos and Namju spent a lot of money investing in his little Bitcoin business, and they lost a lot of money, so they don't help for him. They attack him, and during this fight between the blue, which is the people who voted to stay, and the red, people who voted to leave, he kills Thanos. Thank goodness. I'm glad his character is dead and gone. Personally, I think this character was more important than to just die off like that in the bathroom, but it is what it is. He's done, he's gone, thank goodness. Good riddance. After the bathroom fight ensues, we get a scene where we discover that Sea Captain Cole isn't who he say he is. He is working with no other than the recruiter himself, the front man, everybody involved in Squid Game. He actually even has a picture with the recruiter himself, Gong Yu, which is insane. And he kills one of the members of the team that is working with Junho. Nobody yet knows that he's a traitor, but us, the audience, now knows that he's a traitor. And the reason why they can't find the island is because he's purposely taking them to other islands just so that they can be killed off, and so that they would never find a place and hopefully return back so he doesn't have to kill everybody on the boat. This was theorized by lots of viewers, and you guys were right. So congratulations for that. Once the lights go out, things get a little bit crazy. Instead of them attacking each other like what happened in the first season, the players attack the guards. They take their guns, kill them, and now we're having a crazy shootout between players and guards. Lots of people die. Lots of people. One person survives, however, and that is Kong Suk. He survives and is saved by guard number 11, only because she knows him and she feels bad for his situation with his dying daughter, but she also knows. So yes, he is lucky. Pause on that because we don't know what happened to his character after they showed that scene, but yeah, that's it. That's done with his character. Lots of people died, mainly because Daeho claimed to be a Marine, like I mentioned earlier. He had the tattoo and everything. He said that he was a brother in arms with Jung Bae, and that turned out to be a lie because when it was time to get serious, he got scared. He ain't never been in this before, and when it was time for him to get the guns, get the ammo, bring it back to everybody so that they had enough ammo to shoot, froze up, hid, cried in the corner. And because they didn't have any ammo to shoot the other guards, other people died. Thanks a lot, Daeho. So now, with the only two people left, because obviously we think that Kong Suk is dead at the moment, there's only Jung Bae and Gion that's left, and they're shooting the guards that are closer to the room where the front man will be in, because Inho disappears. He did as well go with them. I think at some point in time he kind of forgot that he was front man. I think he was having a little bit too much fun in the Squid Game and playing his role just a little bit too hard. But he disappears and he kills Jung Bae and all the other people that were helping that were still left, and he reveals himself to be front man. And yes, Gion is hurt. Couldn't believe that he trusted somebody else again. Me personally, I mean, after seeing the first person in number 001, I wouldn't have trusted anybody else in that number ever again. And now, I'm definitely not trusting anybody with that number ever again if there's ever to be another Squid Game in Korea, because we now know that we're getting a Squid Game in America. So, yeah, I'm not trusting anybody with the number 001. Yes. So then, after he reveals himself to be front man, that is all she wrote. That's it. We don't know what happened to Gion, but we do know that he doesn't die because there's a third season. So, we're left off with a cliffhanger, obviously. And those who didn't die, I'm talking mom, her son, the pregnant girl, her boyfriend, and Hanjo, Daeho, them. Also, we're left over the cliffhanger and they have to go into some room, and it's the girl again from Red Light, Green Light. And this time there's a boy. We have no idea what's going on, but we know it's about to get crazy and it's about to be a lot of deaths. Honorable mention, Hanjo killed lots of guards. She did her thing. She was very amazing. She is actually a soldier herself. She was previously in the army. She has a lot of military background, military experience, killing experience, unlike Daeho, who lied about his. And she carried the show, especially in that time during the shootout. She was about to die, but luckily mom talked her down because they're now friends after spending some time with each other, getting to understand each other and not judging each other like they did in the beginning. And she saved her life in that moment. So yes, cliffhanger. We don't know what happened. We had to wait, but now season 3 has just aired, and we get to talk about that season. But before we start, I will say that season 2 is my favorite season. I think it had the best characters, it had the best storylines, the best directing, even the best games, if I'm being honest. So don't get me wrong, I enjoy Red Light, Green Light. I enjoyed The Glass Stepping Stone. Those are my 2 favorite games of the first season. But season 2 just had much more funner games, much more better characters, even including Thanos, who is a very irritating character. But just all around, it was just the best season to me. So yes, I would give this season definitely a 9 out of 10. So yeah. Now let's get started with season 3. Season 3 picks up literally right after season 2. We are still here at Squid Game. They split this game up, this experience, into 2 seasons because there was so much going on within the second season that we could just not finish out within 1 season. So we have now entered season 3 and we're about to continue these games. It's not over yet. We've only played 3 games. We have more. So now we're about to play hide and seek with a twist. This game you have to, well, hide. There is Team of Red, which are most of the cast, and then there's Team of Blue, which is the rest of the cast. The objective is to kill whoever you find. If you are wearing the color red, you have to go seek and hide anyone who's wearing the color blue. Now, anyone wearing the color blue does have the opportunity to escape, but they have to do it within the time frame that they're given, or they will be killed. And whoever is wearing red has to kill at least one person to pass, or else they will be killed within the time frame as well. This goes on, and some of our characters die, such as Hong Jo, who was killed by Myung Gi purposely, but accidentally. He thought that she was about to attack his girl, which she did not, and we lost the best character on the show. During this time also, the baby's born, so yeah, we got us a little bundle of joy, but there's nothing to celebrate yet because, well, it gets dark when it comes to the baby. It gets very dark. So yes. We also lose the fake prophet lady, who is killed by Min Soo. I think he has some weird mental breakdown because he's guilty about Semi getting killed during the time that the lights were out. So yeah. And then we also lose Young Sik, which is the son to Gum Jao. She has to kill her son because he wants to kill Jun-hee and her baby. He doesn't care that she was just born. He doesn't care that she just gave birth. Doesn't matter. He wants to kill her. And mom is like, no, kill me instead. But he's like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I have to kill somebody right now or they're going to kill me. I haven't killed anyone because the one chance that I did get to kill someone, somebody took the kill and they passed instead of me. So yeah, I have to kill them. I have to kill both of them. I'm sorry. And so she has to kill her son, and I mean, technically he doesn't die when she stabs him. The guards do come and kill him, but she aided in his death, so yeah. So we lose those people. Very sad. Some of those characters were likable, some of them were not. And we also lose Daeho, who is killed by Gyeon, because now that it is revealed to him that he's the reason why lots of the players died, because he lied about who he was and didn't bring the ammo. He's very upset about that. He's like, well, I'm gonna get it back in blood. You gotta pay for them dying. So, yep, he does. He's dead, and that's the end of him. I did like Daeho at first until the last episode where he poked out and, yeah, caused everyone to die. Season 3, when he did finally admit that he was not a soldier, and I definitely stopped liking him. So, good riddance, I say. During this time, they have another vote after the game, and lots of people vote to stay. Mom is like, look, people, this girl just had a baby. Don't you want her baby to win? Don't you want her baby to go home? Don't you want this mother to be with her child? We gotta stop this. Everybody that's supposed to leave. They don't listen. They vote to stay. And the guilt of her stabbing her son, the thought of her losing her son, the thought of people trying to kill the newborn baby, and a mom who just had a baby is too much on her. So she takes her own life, and that is the end of her. It is very sad because now all of our favorite characters, I mean, throughout the whole series, are dying, and it's painful to see. It's irritating. It's very angering, frustrating. So, yeah. Now we move on to the next game, which is jump rope. You will have to jump across a bridge without getting touched by the boat, without getting touched by the rope within a certain time frame. And if you do not get across within that time frame, then, well, you know how this goes. You get killed. The guards kill you. During this time, people are like, well, the baby has to play as well. She is yet not considered a member of the game just yet, but in a sense she is. She has to get across. There's not a lot of people left in this game to be allies with, so Junhee and Guillaume decide to team up. He takes the baby, he jumps across, he makes it Myung-gi. He tells Junhee, like, look, I'll carry you across. Whatever we gotta do, we need to both get across together. After him killing Honju, she's not effing with this man anymore. She gave him a few chances. It was like, maybe we could be a family together. But after that, it ruined the trust. And she doesn't want to be carried by him. She doesn't want to jump with him. I'm sure at this point, she doesn't even want him in the baby's life. So that's that. He makes it across. Minsu makes it across. However, we do get somebody who dies, which thank goodness, in that it's Namju who dies. Like I said, annoying character, could not stand him, irritating. And it's like, he didn't like Myung-gi at first until Thanos was gone, and then it was like, oh, let's team up, let's be allies. Fate. So he's gone, thanks to Minsu tricking him. Good riddance, thank goodness. So yeah. Now this is a scene in a game that is very heartfelt because a lot of us liked Junhee's character. We wanted her to win. We wanted her to raise her baby, and some of us even wanted her to have that family, that white picket fence, the big house that Myung-gi wanted to get with them, and win the money, everything like that, so they could be together, raise their baby. But because she sprained her ankle doing hide and seek right before giving birth, it was very swollen, purple, it was just nasty. She could not jump, and she knew that she was not going to get across in time, or she would just die by getting hit by the rope anyway. So she jumps and deletes herself, leaving the baby alone and also leaving Myung-gi without a lover. It hurts for a lot of us, including him and even Guillaume himself. So yeah, that's that. During this time as well, Mr. Choi is trying to tell Junho that he does not trust Sea Captain Ko. He thinks that he is working with the recruiter or anybody involved in Squid Game, and well, what do you know? He finds a picture with the recruiter and he's like, look dude, this is weird. I gotta tell you something. Your man's not who he say he is. He had to do some investigating of his own because they weren't listening to him at first, wasn't believing his words. And well, yeah, they find out, and Sea Captain Ko goes crazy. He kills everyone on the boat except for the leader of the team that was recruited by Junho and Junho. Mr. Choi luckily was not there. He was off the boat doing his own recruiting. Well, by this time he was actually arrested because he was doing his own investigating and recruiting. So yeah, he got lucky, but Sea Captain Ko dies and we find our way to the island. So we finally back and we're about to find our brother again. See if we can do the second time without getting shot. So here we go. After all of that ensues, we get to have a dinner, and the last players, they get to eat, dress up, wash up, look nice. Even the baby, you know, they dress the baby up, put the baby in the bassinet, get a little bottle. Everything's good. But the last game is going to be starting soon, and the VIPs are like, let's make the baby take the place of its mother. So now the baby's in the game, whether the baby knows how to play or not, whether the baby knows what's going on or not. They don't care if this baby gets killed or anything like that. So once the other players find out that the baby's not a player, they're upset. They're like, there's no way that this baby's gonna win and take all this money. There's just no way. We're gonna win. We need it more than the baby. Like, baby was just born. What is the baby gonna do with 456 billion won? Nothing. So if we have to kill this baby and anybody protecting this baby, that's what we're gonna do. So the last game starts, and it is called Squid Game, which is just like the original Squid Game, but in the sky. It is on very high, tall pillars, and you have to knock people off. And that's exactly what they do, starting with Min Soo, because he is deemed as the weakest out of all the players, and then everyone else goes and goes and goes. And the last people standing is Myung-gi, his baby, and Yeon. And this is a very tough part to watch, because I wanted Myung-gi to survive raising his daughter. I know that her mother isn't alive anymore, but I thought that he would be there to raise the baby, or at least Yeon would be there to raise the baby. He would adopt the baby, and neither of that happens. They get into a fight. Myung-gi dies first, and because these weirdo VIPs are like, yeah, the baby's a player, there can only be one player left. That is messed up by Myung-gi, because they actually gave people the opportunity for multiple people to win and walk away with the money. They could all split it, but because he killed the old man, now there has to only be one player. So even if it was him and his daughter, he would still die, because he wouldn't kill his daughter in order for him to win. So because there has to only be one player, our very own lovable player 456 sacrifices himself so that the baby can win. Jun-ho finds his brother, and they're like, oh snap, this place is infiltrated. Police here, we gotta go. The whole island is destroyed. The place is destroyed. The building, everything is burned down on fire. Everyone you once known and loved from this series, especially the second and third season, are perished. In-ho takes the baby, leaves without a trace. He doesn't even really get to speak with his brother, and that's it. We don't see him again. We don't see anyone again until 6 months later, where we only have a small number of survivors left, and that is only Jun-ho, Mr. Choi, the captain of the team that Jun-ho recruited to go look for the island, In-ho, and Kong-seok, who was saved by Guard 11, who also survives. And that's everyone from the games, or anyone that worked the games, or anyone involved in the games that survived. So they're living their lives. Guard 11, she's going to go find her daughter. Kong-seok still works at the amusement park. His daughter is good now. She's healthy. He somehow managed to find some money, scrape up some money to, get treatment for his daughter. So happy ending for him. Mr. Choi is going to open up a bar. Jun-ho now has Myung-gi and Jun-hee's daughter, and he also has her 456 billion won. So he's rich and a dad. In-ho now has a change of heart after kind of having heartfelt moments with Yeon. He kind of changed him a bit, and now he is done with the games, but he's still rich, still traveling. And the show ends off with Kate Blanchett for some odd reason. And yeah, that is the start of Squid Game USA or Squid Game America, whatever they gonna decide to call it. I don't really care. Nobody asked for it, but we're getting it, so yippee, I guess. This season was very quick and short, but it did have a lot of like serious, heartfelt, touchy moments. So I will give this season a 6 out of 10. Lots of people was very disappointed with the season, especially considering that a lot of their favorite characters, including Guillaume himself, died. Very frustrated, and I truly understand your anger. It still had good directing, good acting nonetheless, but I feel like we could have took different routes and went a different way with these characters when it comes to their endings, and they did not. So it pissed a lot of people off, including me. Overall, I would say yes, this is a good show. It was great. The actors did their thing, and season 2 is still my favorite season. So let's see if I enjoy Squid Game or if I don't. I'm gonna say that yes, Squid Game is a show that I enjoy to a certain extent. I don't like it better than All of Us I Did. That is my favorite Korean show, Korean drama, Korean horror, whatever. But Squid Game is definitely a different kind of show. It has definitely touched society in many different ways. It is going to be talked about for a very long time, and it's so popular that it's even getting a American spinoff, like I said. It may even get spinoffs in other countries as well after the American one. They might even get a movie. Who knows? So yes, I enjoyed the show. It was good. I wish that I would have got a chance to react to it on this channel. I have reacted to like maybe the first 3 episodes of the very first season of Squid Game on my old channel. They got terminated, but because it's terminated, obviously you won't be able to see it. And after dealing with all of that with that channel, I just didn't want to go back and react to Squid Game again. I just wanted this to be a show that I watch on my leisure time. And I just finished season 3 of Squid Game maybe about 2 weeks ago that this video drops. So overall, I would say it is a good show. I enjoy it. If you didn't like Squid Game, then that's your prerogative. If you do, that's also your prerogative. It's certain characters that I enjoy that you didn't, that's also your prerogative. Everybody likes who they like and don't like who they like. I know a lot of people love Thanos. Me, I was not one of them. So it is what it is. But overall, this was a really good show. I enjoyed a lot about it. And I do hope to see those actors and actresses in other things, whether it's American or Korean, pretty soon. I know a lot of them, or some of them, had done other things. Some rapped before this, some acted in other things before this. But for those who kind of just debuting, or those that we haven't really seen that much, I do hope to see in the near future in other things. So, yeah. Before I leave, I'm going to say that my favorite games on this show are definitely Red Light, Green Light, Last Stepping Stones, Red Light, Green Light again from the second season, Mingle, Hide and Seek to a certain extent. They did lose, which is kind of my favorite character, Hongju. And all of the games in the whole sequence of Six-Legged Pentathlon. So yes, everything else I could have went without. I did not enjoy the Sugar Honeycombs at all. It was different, and I do remember all the disgusting memes from this game, but I just didn't enjoy that one myself. And it's definitely, when I play Squid Game, like on Roblox and stuff, it's definitely not my favorite game. I can't pass it at all. Squid Game I don't enjoy, and I definitely don't enjoy Sky Squid Game. Marbles I don't enjoy, so yeah. But yes, that was it. That was my take and my little summary on the show. I didn't really have to say much about the reasoning behind me liking it. I pretty much stated it as I was going through the show. But yeah, it's just good directing, good acting. It was a good storyline, a good concept of the show. It was different. We hadn't seen anything like it. The closest thing to this that we had seen is the Hunger Games. and probably Battle Royale. If y'all haven't seen it, it's a great movie. It is basically like the much more bloodier, deadlier, more screwed up, traumatizing version, Japanese version of Squid Game. I mean, no, not Squid Game. Of Hunger Games, which came out first. So if you haven't seen that, you could definitely go take a look at that. But yeah, the closest thing to this we have seen was Hunger Games and Battle Royale for those who have seen Battle Royale. So it's definitely different for its time. It's a really good show. If you have not watched Squid Game, then I suggest you go watch it on Netflix or any other place where you watch shows that you don't want to look on platforms, if you know what I mean. But yes, that was my take on the whole Squid Game series now that it is over. I hope y'all enjoyed this, and if you did not, oh well, it is what it is. When we come back, we will be looking at movies, because this is not something that I would do often on this channel. I only did this because I did not react to the show on this channel, so I figured that I just talk about it instead. So yes, I will see y'all in the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, follow the socials, follow the gaming channel, and I'll see y'all in the next video.
Keep going, I can't let go. It's hard, but watch me grow. Ask God to heal my soul. Ask God to heal my soul. Keep moving, I gotta stay low. Not fast, I gotta go slow. Give it all till I can't no more. Give it all till I can't no more.